to the Caribou Data Science channel. This is the evening of, what is this, Wednesday, August the 16th. I had an excellent time of Bible study earlier this evening. Now it's time to get on with some data analytics. I'm going to wait a couple minutes and see if this person shows up and ask me a couple questions about it. In the meantime, I'm going to try to, and as always, our best friend's going to be coming along for today's ride. That, of course, is Chatgpt Plus. We got this script here. A fairly simple script, okay? I'll pin a GitHub repository for this to the So I'll put the link to this up here. The R script works fine. I'm still working on the let's pin this. Okay. So let's just wait a couple minutes, see if this person shows up, if anybody shows up for that matter. Let's do it. let's try this. Let's get rid of 1. So why did it work before? Okay, the problem was I didn't change the database. So we have 108,000 rows where either the start station name and the end station name is null. So we could do one or two things here. We could just invent, you know, a station name, you know, A, B, C, and D, E, F station or something like that, you know. Or we could, in our case, we could just simply delete it all. Save a little space. Now the other thing is this.
Não, é que eu só queria saber se você vai conseguir ver. Eu acabei sentindo sua falta. Saudade. Na real é que só queria que você soubesse que eu te adoro. Preciso de você aqui.
So let's just wait a couple minutes here. And by doing this up here, what we're doing is we're limiting ourselves to rides at 1 day rides. Okay, so in other words, the ride at start and end on the same day. Because we got some crazy stuff out there, like, you know, 24-hour rides or you know, week-long rides or something like that. But anyway, the other things we could do is. You know, let's briefly look at the data import code, okay? Most important thing here is the libraries. You need DBI or DBC. Alright. Now here's the connection string. This is when you first start up your SQL server, right? You get the log on screen. It's going to tell you what the server name is. So you can put that in there. First you go over. I don't know if you actually have to. Well, I went in anyway, and I created this database first, okay? And trusted connection means you don't have to use your username and password. But basically, what it probably does, it probably uses your Windows password. And here's a script I got from Chatgpt, and how to read in a directory full of a directory full of CSV files. The trouble is, I tried to import them all once. I waited like 30 minutes and it still hadn't finished importing, so I killed the process. Then I split them up into 4 directories containing three files each. Okay. So this first one here says data 1. So this imports the first data and creates a database table called data 1. And we do the same thing on table 2, table 3, and table 4. Let me see something here. Yep, I said 9 p.m. So therefore, I'm not sure where this. And she said she can't wait. She couldn't wait, but who knows what really happened? All right.
A origem da caipirinha remonta a 1918 em São Paulo, onde era oferecida como bebida medicinal contra uma epidemia de gripe espanhola. A base principal da caipirinha era a cachaça. Caipirinha de abacaxi, maracujá, de morango e limão. Abre a boca. É como gelo sem cachaça. Tá legal.
So basically, what we're going to do this evening is we're just going to probably do the date wrangling, unless someone else shows up sooner or later on. Okay. Oh, and again, all the code will be in the description below. All right.
só esse calor, sol que há de bela flor. As nuvens descem como um véu, caminho que trilha para o céu. Menino que corre, menina que canta, a água escorre na Semana Santa. E com as rosas jogadas no mar, tu ajoelhas pra Iemanjá. Solte a voz, cantador, pra nossa terra do amor. Solte a voz, cantador, pra nossa terra do amor. Escuta só a velha chamar dessa pátria que se ama, abençoada, sol, mar e terra. Dança divina, joga capoeira, batuque, tambor, mulher faladeira, olhos no mar, pé na areia, brisa que faz a palmeira dançar, violão que ressoa no ar. Solte a voz, cantador, pra nossa terra do amor. Solte a voz, cantador, pra nossa terra do amor. Abençoada, sol, mar e terra, Iemanjá. Solte a voz, cantador, pra nossa terra do amor. Solte a voz, cantador, pra nossa terra do amor. Solte a voz, cantador, pra nossa terra do amor. Solte a voz, cantador, pra nossa terra do amor.
Vou mostrar pra ela minha capoeira. Toca esse tambor que eu danço a noite inteira. Vou fazer bonito, hoje eu vou te impressionar. No final da noite eu vou te conquistar. Vou mostrar pra ela minha capoeira. Toca esse tambor que eu danço a noite inteira. Vou fazer bonito, hoje eu vou te impressionar. No final da festa eu vou te conquistar. Capoeira ioiô, capoeira iaiá. Ó Cupido vem flechar na capoeira. Capoeira ioiô, capoeira iaiá. Ó Cupido vem flechar na capoeira.
Eu já senti o clima no ar. Você me quer e eu quero você também. Não há nada que precise me provar e que o destino nos leve além. Eu já senti o clima no ar. Você me quer e eu quero você também. Não há nada que precise me provar e que o destino nos leve além. Não há nada que precise me provar e que o destino nos leve além.
Capoeira ioiô,
Ioiô,
capoeira iaiá.
iaia,
Ó Cupido vem flechar na capoeira.
capoeira,
Capoeira ioiô,
ioiô,
capoeira iaiá.
iaia.
Ó Cupido vem flechar na capoeira.
minus 111,466,0. So that'll bring us down to about interesting. Let's just wait a couple minutes here. I'll just show you Amazon purchase for the week. So, I ordered me 3 pens. Here is the sports fountain pen, black fine nib. They should be arriving tomorrow night by 10 p.m. That is, I believe, how to describe that, mate? Alloy steel. Then I'm ordering some Wandering Traveler's Pocket notebook inserts. Right? For my Traveler's Pocket notebook. Wait a minute, what Traveler's notebook? Well, this one down here, my Midori Traveler's Note passport size, okay? Unfortunately, that's not going to get her to like, August the 29th. But in the meantime, I'm going to get the refills for it. I'll get 2 pens, right? A clip, and a third pen, the Muji aluminum body fountain pen, fine nib, with 2 cartridges, okay? Now these things are kind of interesting, okay, because they're the size of a passport, which means they're about this size here, okay? And they're made out of leather, but if you look at it, what all it's made out of is all it's made out of is a piece of leather with a hole punched through it and an elastic band. That's all there is to it. There's no lining, there's no stitching, there's no embossing, there's nothing. Okay. If you go out on YouTube, there's dozens of people, just gushing over this old, over this little, what's it called, Midori Traveler Passport notebook. It's actually the size of your passport, at least U.S. passport. And there's all kinds of people, and they're showing you, how they got it set up with the refills and little plastic containers to hold things, and they got a little calendar system in there. It's like, people, it's a piece of leather with some folded paper on the inside. Because it's like, I think like $45 on Amazon. So let's see. So part of my problem is my handwriting is terrible. It's never been good, and the older I get, the worse it is going to use it. So what I'm going to do is, I got me this little book here, and this is going to be my practice. I'm going to practice my cursive handwriting, uppercase and lowercase, trying to make it more legible. Part of my problem, I think, is as I get in a hurry, I'm afraid I might be like holding someone else up behind me. Now back to the database. Things to ponder. You could work strictly with the transaction record. I'm going to call that's called the table, the rides table. Let's call it a transaction table. Nah, we could call it a fact table, but it's really not a fact table because it contains dimensions in it. Okay, because it has a starting station name instead of it had both. It had both the starting station name and the foreign key for both starting station and end station. We also got the bike type and the member type. Well, these should originally come from individual tables, and there should only been a foreign key in a fact table. So this really isn't a fact table. This is more of a data analytic table, but there is a lot of data. Okay. And the other point is this isn't the last step. Okay. The last step is, according to the instructions for the Google Data Analytics Certification Capstone project is for the Cyclistinb Bikeshare, is that you have to create a PowerPoint. You have to create a presentation, like a PowerPoint presentation, a slideshow, which most people overlook. And the good news is we can make a lot of the plots here because we got the Azure Data Studio. Okay. Let's try some of this. And you can download it separately. It also runs on Linux and Mac OS, by the way. Now the plots aren't as good as. Here's some stuff I did with the. It was the medium data information. Okay, so it's not too bad. You can of course copy these. Okay, so that's not too bad. You can copy these to the clipboard, or you can save them as an image file. You can put them into. So there's nothing wrong with this. It's okay. The only problem is you can't really. Okay. So you could create your plots in Azure Data Studio and then just copy and paste them into PowerPoint, into your presentation. Someone wanted to know about someone wanted to know about R Markdown. So it's not this. It's a live session. Well, where is she? Let's go over here. Let's look at our, because this other person was looking for help with creating R Markdown. Okay. I think Homer White's what we're looking for.
Doctor provides balance.
Movie in part 2. Could you please make part 2? The advantage to Quattro is it's cross-platform. It works both with Python and with and with R. Okay, and you can of course create blogs with it. You can create Windows Word docs, HTMLs, PDFs. You could probably also, if really what you know, you could probably also create a and the syntax is roughly the same. You start out with a YAML, a header section at the top, basically gives a title and the type of document you're trying to create. Then you just put your code chunks down below. For Python, it's it's inside the curly brackets. It's Python. For R, it's R, open and close brackets, and the markdown's the same. You with the hashtags for different size and plain text and bulleted text. It's just that the main reason is Quattro's a little bit more flexible, shall we say, than R Markdown. Oh, with R Markdown you can create slideshows also, including if you know that if you have Microsoft Word Office installed, you can create PowerPoint slides inside of. Of course, you may be able to create PowerPoint slides using Quattro also. Okay. So where is my pupil to see? The person couldn't wait for the session, but where are they? Oh, by the way, there will be a table of contents, okay? And there will be a link to my GitHub repository in the description also. I'll give this person at 10 o'clock. Then we'll just move right on, okay? course, the thing about this is a lot of these people are looking for someone to do all the work for them. Okay? Not sure why this person chose the SQL Server to do a project in because, well, like I said, you can. You can do a project in SQL Server, okay? So I think this evening we'll try to wrap up the data cleaning, at least most of it. Pull the start hour, pull the start day of the week. Also trip duration. So is midnight at the end of the day, or is it the starting of the next day? That's the question. Let's take a look at the one video. Take a look at the counts. Now the trouble is, no, 16 subscribers. What? 1,900. Goodness gracious. We're at 1,909 subscribers. Wow. Content. $14 for that one. Live. Oh, there's one person watching. 21 for that. Very nice. Interesting. Okay. Yes, once again, there will be a table of contents in the description below, along with the link to the code, okay? The link on GitHub for the code. Okay, make that 4 columns. Less than 1 minute to go. And we'll begin by deleting the rows where the start station name or end station name are null.
E agora, o que faço com esse amor
Run this.
que não pode ser, que não pode ver a luz?
Delete rows where
E agora, como faço pra esquecer o que eu não posso ter, mas quero viver aqui?
okay.
Pode ser que a gente
Okay. How do we want to phrase this now? Let's see.
pra ser, ou talvez ao tempo cabe dizer
Okay. Let's try to put this some way that it makes sense. Okay. Okay.
e agora o que faço com esse amor que não cabe em mim, mas veio existir em ti. E agora, como faço pra entender que vai acontecer?
Oh, hey, Cha Hung, thanks so much for stopping by. Appreciate you taking your time out from your evening. So tell me, my friend, where do you live? So I'm actually doing this session. Someone reached out to me on YouTube and he said, well, when you go post the second or third part to your SQL Server capstone project? So I said, well, I'm going to stream tonight at 9 p.m. and like, oh wow, I can't wait to come there. Well, they haven't showed up yet. Unless that's you. Okay, unless that's you. If you look at the top of the screen, you can see there's a link up there. It says Caribou Data Science. That is the link to my GitHub repository, but both the SQL and the R code is going to be up there. Okay, we're using the Cyclistic Bikeshare data, which you can download on Kaggle, and we've done a few things so far tonight. Well, first of all, we created you combine the 4 tables into one. Then we add a start date and end date field. Then we updated that. Then we deleted the rides where the start date does not equal the end date. Florida? Oh, no trouble, my friend. Here, let me give you my. That's my YouTube handle. So if you want to, or Facebook account, you want to get in touch with me. You can of course post a comment here. If you have a question, you can reach me on Facebook at that thing there. Okay. So we deleted the rows where the start and end days were different. So we only going to be looking at 1 day rides. Okay. Then we did a count, and then we deleted from the rides again where the starting station and end station name is null. Then we add a start and end date. Okay, good. Let's see something. And then I added the start and end date table, right? Okay, and updated that. Now, all this SQL code was written by Chatgpt. Okay, it's all out there. You know, some of the stuff I could have figured out myself. I think, you know what, the heck? Let's say Chatgpt earned us $20 a month, right? So I got to get my $20 a month out of Chatgpt Plus. Right, so we created 2 new columns, start and end date. Then we updated that, and then we're saying again we're going to delete any rows where the start and end date are different. So let's try this. Maybe we haven't done this part yet. Let's see something. Okay, so that's okay. Maybe we haven't updated it yet. Yeah. So if you look at the code, there's about 100,000 rows. 108,000 rows that don't have start station name or end station name, and I deleted those. You don't have to. You can do something else, but I decided to delete them. And then we extracted the start and end date. And again, we deleted any row where the start and end date is different. Okay. Now we want to create 4 more rows: the start hour, the start day, the day of the week, the start month, and the trip duration. Okay. Okay. Start hour. And the other thing you go find out if you actually start calculating trip duration is you got rides, you got trip durations of like 5,000 minutes. Or minus 100 minutes. Well, we're going to get rid of any other any rows where the trip duration is less than or equal to 0. Okay. Start date. Where this is one of my longest prompts. So have you worked much with ChatGPT, either Plus or just a regular one? Let's save this. Oh, okay. Did I spell it right? Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's. I tell you what. Plus, they always talk about killer apps, and app that really puts another app on the market. Sort of like spreadsheets did for PCs, right? Well, Chatgpt Plus, you have two coding options. You can use Code Interpreter, which will write Python code for you based on your prompt. You can also use what's called Notable.io, which is an online notebook. What it does is, with a plugin, you type your prompts into Chatgpt Plus. It writes the code, but then it writes the code to a notebook on the other side, over on Notable site. And of course, it can do plots. You can do really nice, simple EDA with nothing more than just Chatgpt. You can probably do the same thing with the free version. It's just if you use the paid version, you ask it to make a plot, it'll actually display the plots. Okay, so it's and of course Bard is also very good. Interesting what Bard is that I asked it. I said, what version of GPT are you based on? And Bing says a version of Chatgpt 4. A version, so Bing uses some version of Chatgpt 4. Okay. And of course, the interesting thing about Bing is about Bard is you can actually use that. You can take the code there and click on another link, and it'll open up Google Colabs for you and put the code in there for you also. But so I mean, this you know, it really is it's a huge game changer. Write Azure code. Oh, one thing about when you deal with like SQL, you want to tell it what flavor you're running, because you know the syntax between say Postgres and SQL Server is a little different. Okay, and so you want to make sure and tell it which one you'll say. Write the SQL Server code, or write the Postgres server. Write the Postgres code or whatever. Write the SQLite code, okay? So again, we're going to do 4 columns. Start hour, day of week spelled out from started at. You know what? We could do start date. I mean, we could, of course, use the started at, right? Let's see. Start month spelled out from start date. Calculate trip duration in minutes using started at and ended at. Delete rows where the trip duration is less than 0. So let's see how it does with this one, shall we? This is one of my longer prompts, by the way. Add new column, start hour, day of week, start month, trip duration. Set start hour, date part hour started at, day of week, date, weekday started at, start month. So what do you think? Delete? So you got this nice piece of SQL code here, right? So tell me, what's your Facebook handle? What's your Facebook handle? So here's our prompts. Now, you can also connect to databases through VS Code also, okay? They have a, so that's another way to do it. I don't know if you realize it or not, but you can actually do plots and stuff like that. You can use Azure Studio to do plots, and then copy and paste the plots into your PowerPoint or something like that. Okay, so let's see how this first part goes here. Oh, shoot. Suppose we change the code so we get the abbreviation. Let's just do this. What the heck? So this data set has about 4.8 million rows, but like 1.8 million of them are stuff I eliminated. You know, the missing station names, the rides, or rides that appear to be more than one day, and so forth, and stuff like that. How do I search for friends? Is there a space between your first and last name? So we had 35,000 rows where the trip duration was less than or equal to 0. Let me see something. There's my email address. Okay, look up here on the left-hand side. Oh, good. You connected with me on Facebook? Is that what you did? Okay, so here we look at this. The minimum is trip duration is 1. The maximum is 14. What's that? 14 divided by 60 is what? If that's minutes, so that ride's about, that's possible. You could easily have a 2-hour ride, with the average being 18. So now let's take a look at the data set as a whole. Start date, end date, start hour, day of the week, month, trip duration, okay? Did you send me a message? You connect with me on Facebook, is that what you mean? So this looks good. Okay, so the question is, can we calculate the distance using the Now you didn't see me do this trip distance one. That's just between us. That's nice, but how do we do it with SQL? Interesting. Now, like I said, you didn't see me do this one here, did you? Because I don't want people asking me how to calculate distance. Now, I basically have no idea what that code's doing. You know, squares and cosines and sines and square roots. That's like you're looking at a guy who barely subscribed to algebra, much less calculus. Okay, let's see. Just okay, radians. Do you understand this code here? I mean, I would have no idea how to do that. Okay, I would have no idea how to do that without Chatgpt. No clue whatsoever. Now, if this actually works, I'm going to be truly impressed. Yeah, that sounds like a problem for the marketing department. So here we go with the big numbers, okay?
Escolhe a música que eu abro, vinho, um brinde, eu e você. Nessa sintonia os nossos corpos vão se envolver.
So, are you taking the Google Data Analytics certification course, or is this something else? So will this one work? That's the question. I have to say this code here is a little bit what they're doing up here, of course, is they're using they're using a CTE, right?
Tava pensando seria lindo outra garrafa para te servir. Meu quarto tem uma cama grande, eu não me importo em dividir. E você pode ficar aqui. Assim a gente aproveita mais. E você pode ficar aqui. Aqui a gente tá seguro. E você pode ficar aqui. E amanhã? Amanhã a gente vê.
Oh, we don't have right. No, we don't. No, we don't have right ID. Oh. Oh crap! I deleted the right ID comment. I didn't think we needed. Oh no. So this probably won't run because it says assuming that there's a unique identifier. Which means we don't have a unique identifier for the ride. But each road is a ride. Each row is a ride. Now what we could do is okay, you know what I might do is well, the original data had a right ID in it. I thought we didn't need it, but it does have a right ID in it, which is a unique identifier. We could come back over here. Oh, I don't know. Do something like this. Just recreate the table. Just leave the right ID in. Okay, so I came over here and I got rid of right ID and station ID and then station ID. Okay, so let's get rid of this. Actually, now I have the ID, the code back. Okay, let's see something. And let's see. There we go, now we're friends. Just watch this for a couple minutes here. You know, uploading this way does take a few minutes. What's that up here for? I'll be right back here. I'm not sure if this makes any distance, but I'm going to close this anyway, just to make sure we're not tying up the database. course, you know, we could have just created another increment field on there and saved ourselves a lot of trouble. Anyway, we got the code here, the original code. So, are you a student, or do you work in the IT field? What's your current status? Okay, good. Where did you graduate from? Me, I'm an amateur data. I'm an amateur data analyst. I do this just for the fun of it. It's a hobby. Okay, very nice. So you got your bachelor's degree from in data science. Is that what it was? Well, export the data. No. You can grab the. Like I said, I'm going to upload both the R code and the SQL code to my GitHub repository. If you want to get the data, if you specifically want Cyclistic, you can find that on Kaggle, the 12 months worth. You can also go and look for the city bike. Hey, no problem. Like I say, it's a hobby. I enjoy doing it. One of these days, maybe someone will actually hire me or something. I don't know. But anyway, I'm actually retired. I'm 68, so I'm actually retired. I got interested in data science 2 or 3 years ago when I was doing some observing the sunspots, right? And I wanted to plot my observations. So I looked at R and I watched a few videos and I got started that way, you know, but so that's 2. Yeah, but the of course we have to go back and rerun all of our code also then, right? I forgot about that because I'm recreating the table. Let's see something here. Anyway, city bike. Here we go. Okay, if you come over to here, okay, this is a city bike data, and if you look at it, it's exactly the same format as a Cyclistic, okay, except it's live data. It's being updated every month. So if you want to do something a little more current, you know, a little more current, you know what? You can look at this. Just come down here now, and it looks like down here they made some changes. Oh, very nice. There. Okay, now what's interesting, they have 2 different types. You got the JC and you got the non-JC. What I understand is back over here, they did a lot of data cleaning, okay? Test stations and stuff like that. And the JCs have a lot fewer rows in them than the other ones. So I'm thinking the JCs is just cleaned down here. But like I say, this is a new formula here, and it's exactly the same as the it's exactly the same as Cyclistic. Okay, that's 3. And this is the 4th one. So you can see that took a couple minutes to do that. Things you might notice here, the code for reading the directory full of data comes from Chatgpt. Okay, so in this, if you look over here, you can see I got 4 folders, 4 directories, and each directory contains 3 months, 1 quarter worth of data. Okay. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. So the directory path is going to be data 4, so this will be the last one. And then this does a bunch of stuff over here to, this says remove these 2 fields here, and create a data frame called df. Then I use the janitor function to clean the data. What this does is it converts all the column to lowercase, and it puts and it replaces spaces with underscores. And this just says remove any columns or rows which are empty. Okay, so we're almost through here. There's lots of videos on YouTube about how to create a portfolio. My portfolio is pretty modest. There we go. So that takes care of this. Okay, so now let's come all the way back up to the top and start over again. So as part of your degree program, did you use Python or R? What did you use for your programming portion of it? Go over here. Now to export the data would be too big. Open query. SQL. Okay. Not sure what that made me do. Okay, so this first thing here just says this is the database you want to use. And this basically says run. Okay. So now we're going to come back up here. Okay. Okay, good. Now we're going to take all the. Now we're going to create the table that contains all the four. If you come over here. Just like this. Because this here is going to create this table here. And you can think of a union as being an append function, because what this says append data 2 onto data 1. And it says select star into ride, so this says create a table called ride. Okay, see what happened up here? I didn't run this first thing up here. So when it says invalid object name, check and make sure that this is the database that's currently using. That's not correct. We use a Cyclistic database. Always check and make sure you're. That's why we put this here, because this way it'll take care of it for us. I'll do it when I'm finished. I'm going to finish this up, then I'll upload it and we'll call it a night. So it'll be a few more moments. You see, this is taking a few seconds to run because we're talking like down here. You can actually tell you how long it takes for the query to run it. This tells you the number of rows it returns. So we're kind of like 4.2, 4.8 million rows of data. Yeah, so I'll upload both the R code and the SQL code and run right here. Okay. 5.7 million rows. Now we'll come over here. We're going to create the start and end date. Then we're going to delete any row where the start and end date is different. Oh. Also make sure your things are turned right. Okay. What do you mean invalid? Oh, again, make sure you're spelling your tables right. There. Let's just run this. Then run this to update this. Taking a few seconds to run this part here. 1 minute and 3 seconds to delete the rows we don't want. Delete the missing rows with the missing station names. Two new columns, ride table, start date, end date. Okay, so now we're going to take care of the dates. Make sure the table's spelled right. Okay. Okay, so that's taken care of. Now we get ugly here. See, this is start hour from started at, day of week spelled out, start date, start of month spelled out, okay? So let's create our columns. Then update our database and remove any rows where the trip duration is less than or equal to 0. And now the big test. Can we calculate trip distance? That's the question. Roughly 9 p.m. Eastern time. I don't know. It depends. You can always reach me on Facebook also. So did you post a question to my YouTube page? Was that you or was that somebody else? Yeah, but what it is, if you click the subscribe button, the like button for the video, and then click the bell icon, you'll be notified whenever I go live or upload new content. Okay. Now, if you look at the top of the chat, okay, there's a link to my GitHub repository where the SQL code and the R code will be listed for you up there, okay? Just click on the link at the top of the chat session here. Okay, so here we are down to here now. Now we're going to try to calculate the trip distance. Now, one thing you need to know here is that all the code you see here was created by Chatgpt. All right, everything you see. I didn't write one line of SQL. My SQL skills are decent, but I certainly wasn't knowing how to calculate trip distance. Okay. Oh, you mean your Google Data Analytics certification? I'm also glad to know that my videos are helpful. Like I say, if you click the bell icon, questions, comments, also put something. If you really want to. You can reach me on Facebook Messenger there. You can friend me on Facebook also. Okay. So now we're going to try to calculate the trip distance. Go. Oh no! Ambiguous. No, don't say ambiguous column name. Oh, jeez. Oh man. From rides. Why is this ambiguous for? You're welcome. So where are you in your certification class? Let me give you a brief summary of where we are right now. Our story to date. I wrote some R code to import the Cyclistinb Bikeshare data. I also mentioned that if you want some newer data, you could look for the city bike data. Okay. And the city bike data is exactly the same as the Cyclistinb Bikeshare data. As a matter of fact, the Cyclistinb Bikeshare could actually be the New York City data. But it's exactly that. The advantage is that you get newer data. Okay. And you'll come all the way down to here, and use the JC numbers. The JC numbers, I think, have been cleaned a little bit because they're a lot smaller than the same month up here. But I'll give this to you again here. It's all up to you what you want to do with it, which data you want to use. Hang on one second here. There you are. Did you take your medicine? Did you take your medicine? Okay, so what it's saying is, we're pulling the start lab from two different places. Okay, that's basically what that means. Ambiguous means you say you're doing a join, and both tables have the same column name in it. So you have to tell her which table you want to get the information from. Okay. Oh, good. Oh, hey, Chung, you still with me? Thanks so much. Here's the thing. Most people will tell you that the first three skills you need SQL. You have to have Excel, including Power Query, because everybody expects you to be an expert in Power Query. And the next skill you probably use in the real world is either Tabular or Power BI. SQL by far is the easiest language to learn because it's a fairly small language, and as I said, with Chatgpt, you don't have to know anything. Either Chatgpt or like I say, all the code you see here, okay, was written by Chatgpt. Okay. Yeah, so we come back up here, take a look. What we started out doing this evening was we used an R script to upload all the data in 4 chunks in four different. I created 4 separate tables, one for each quarter. That's what this script is for. Again, the script are going to be, if you go to the link at the top, you'll see it right there. Okay, and so I uploaded 4 separate tables using this script here. Now, again, we're using SQL Server Management, SQL Server here. All right, so that's the first step. Then we came back down here, okay, and we began building the table. So up here, we want to create a table called something. Then you want to load all your tables in there. So this first thing here takes all four of the tables and creates a new table called rides. Then we added a start and end date column, and then we updated that to include the start and end date. Okay? Yes. Okay, so then we create the start and end dates. Then we deleted any ride where the start date does not equal the end date, because we're only interested in same day rides. We did a count here. Then we deleted the rows where the start and end station name is null. Either start or it's null. It's like 108,000 of those. Then we added a start. That's kind of strange. That's kind of strange. Why do I have this twice? Oh, I must have this twice. Start date, end date. Okay. That's odd. Interesting. Okay. So apparently we don't need this, right? We actually did that up there. Now we did a tricky one. We created 3 columns: start hour, day of the week, start month, and trip duration. And again, all this code you see here was written by Chatgpt. Okay, now I'm using Chatgpt Plus, and here's the thing: if you can afford $20, my opinion, if you can afford $20 a month for Chatgpt Plus, it's well worth it. I mean, because you can do all your EDA in Chatgpt Plus and code interpreter, and it has a plugin called Notable. Notable is an online code notebook, kind of like Jupyter. But so what it does, if you use that, you ask a prompt in Chatgpt, it's going to write the Python code, and it's going to send the Python code to a notebook that's created on that Notable.io site. So anyway, so we're going to create this up here. Then we're going to delete any ride where the trip duration is less than or equal to 0. will stop it. Well, all of a sudden it's just doing this for. So now we're calculating. Now we're doing the day, the start hour, the day of the week, the start month, and so forth. Now, one note about using Chatgpt and for SQL, you want to tell Chatgpt or Bard or Bing, you want to tell them which flavor of SQL you're using, because the syntax is different between, say, SQL Server and Postgres, okay? So all this data cleaning has removed like about 108 million rows or something like that. because Chatgpt told me to. Remember, Chatgpt is writing all the SQL code, so I mean, you could have done something, I think, like extract or something like that. Okay, is my guess, but you know, it works. It works. Okay, now we're going to try to delete the rides who have a trip duration of less than or equal to 0. Interesting. Okay. You do that up here someplace. Interesting. Okay, well, it's saying we don't have any rides like this. We're going to drop this column and recreate it. So, yeah, see, here's all the code from today. All right, that's all the code from today. Like I was saying a minute ago, if you get an error that says that the column name is ambiguous, that means that normally occurs when you have a Now this one's a bit of a crapshoot. This may not work. We'll see what happens. Okay. I'll tell you what. I'm going to worry about this here later on. So keep in mind that this last code isn't going to isn't going to run right. Okay. Let's try it one more time. Invalid column name. Invalid column name. Okay. So. So I'll tell you what, my friends, I'm going to call it a night here. We've actually got quite a bit done. Give me one moment to update our by the way, if you get the if you get the last problem solved, we calculate trip distance. By all means, drop me an email or a message and let me know how to do it. Okay? Drop the corrected code. Now, one thing to keep in mind about the Capstone project, you can use any data you want to with it. You don't have to use. You can use any data you want to. That was the third option. The first option was Cyclistic. The second option was a fitness tracker, and the third option was whatever you want. Okay, whatever you want, you can do the third. You can use the third option. Okay, but anyway, thanks so much, Jeff. Part 3 soon. We'll see what happens. Part 3 will probably be creating some summary tables, is my guess. Things like number of rides by day, the average trip distance, and so forth, average trip time, and stuff like that. Because we got all those extra columns. The start date, the end date, the start hour, the start month, the start day of the weekend. We got all that stuff out there we can work with. Okay. So anyway, so the So the so GitHub has been uploaded. Again, there's a link to the GitHub there at the top. Well, thanks so much. Hey, if you know someone else who've used them out, by all means, share the channel with them. Okay, and of course, click the subscribe button, the like button, and the bell icon to be notified whenever I go live again. Okay. And like I said, probably will follow a part 3. We'll probably